If there is one thing we all can agree on, cloud security was never meant to be manual. But for most enterprises today, that is exactly what it is. Security teams are trying to protect fast-changing cloud environments using static rules, manual processes, and constant human intervention. And as the cloud footprint grows, the gap between how fast the cloud moves and how security operates keeps widening. The result is familiar. Too many alerts, too many exceptions, compliance drift, and teams spending more time managing tools than managing risk. Let's look at what is really happening in the cloud. AWS customers operate across dozens, sometimes hundreds of AWS accounts, across regions, across business units, across regulatory boundaries. Each environment comes with its own policies, compliance requirements, and workload needs. Now, AWS does provide powerful native security, but here's the thing. Configuring this security in the right way requires deep expertise and continuous effort. Security teams have to manually translate policies and regulatory frameworks such as PCI, DORA, SOC 2, many of those, into cloud controls, and then keep those controls updated as environments constantly change. So, what do the teams do? Well, most teams are forced into one of these two options. Option number one, enable everything and drown in false positives. Option number two, enable selectively and slow down delivery. And by the way, chase the change continuously as cloud resources evolve. None of these options scale, and none of them deliver continuous compliance. None. This needs to change. There is gotta be a better way of doing things. We need autonomy and not automation. Automation is great. Scripts are awesome. But rules have to be explicitly defined in advance. It works well for repeatable and predictable action, but breaks down when environments or requirements change. On the other hand, autonomy understands the intent and adapts behavior. You tell the system what outcome you want, not every step. The system then interprets context and makes decisions. It learns and adjusts as environments, policies, and risks change. It reduces the need for continuous human intervention. Autonomy is about resilience and scale. Resilience and scale, not just efficiency. Autonomous security means controls that adapt automatically as environments change, compliance that stays aligned continuously, not just at audit time, and security that operates at cloud speed without constant human intervention. This is the problem IBM has set out to solve with their cybersecurity services offering called Autonomous Security for Cloud, ASC for short. At AWS reInvent this year, I got an opportunity to catch up with the IBM team. IBM co-developed this solution with AWS as part of their global security initiative.
Autonomous Security for Cloud, or ASC, was born in the garages with AWS about a year and a half ago as part of blue sky thinking. What's innovative, what solves our clients' challenges of tomorrow.
Instead of asking security teams to manually configure controls, ASC translates regulatory frameworks, organizational policies, and workload context directly into AWS-native security controls.
ASC is a first-of-a-kind differentiator which basically ingests and takes care of all the undifferentiated heavy lifting of reading a bunch of policy documents which are specific to your industry, specific to your domain, regulatory compliance, and uses the power of bedrock GenAI models to convert them into the cloud provider policies of your choice.
With these, policies become executable, not just documents on a shelf, but controls that are actually enforced. ASE uses a fine-tuned LLM and RAG. It understands three things. It understands industry regulations, client-specific policies, and real-time cloud metadata. You need all three. The context is industry regulations, client-specific policies, and real-time cloud metadata. It then uses this context to generate security controls. These controls are not generic defaults because security requirements, as we talked earlier, differ by workload, by region, and by regulation. With ASE, these controls are embedded directly into cloud landing zones with infrastructure as a code delivery. As workloads change, controls adapt automatically. When policies evolve, security configurations update in real time, and compliance drift is detected and remediated continuously, not after the fact. Look, cloud security should not require manual effort. Manual controls are not only cumbersome and difficult to scale, but they make systems weaker by introducing gaps, delays, and configuration drift as environments change. What we really need is security that understands policy, adapts continuously, and keeps pace with cloud itself. As autonomy becomes the foundation for how we build and operate cloud platforms, we all have the opportunity to move from reactive controls to continuous assurance, an approach where compliance and security evolve as the environment evolves. Check out IBM's Autonomous Security for Cloud if you haven't already seen it. We all want to spend less time managing security and more time trusting it to work as intended. Let's make that happen. Thank you very much.